What's going down, everybody? So, man, I just got done doing my toolbox installation video on the '09 Hemi Ram, and I'll be darned, dude, if I don't get in the truck and start it to move it over to Bill's garage to load up all my tools, put it in the toolbox. The check engine light and traction control light is on. So I went through this last week. Let's rewind back a little bit. Last Wednesday, I went through this. I was driving home from work. I was about 40 miles from the house. Check engine light came on. Traction control light came on. It started shifting funny, cutting out, wouldn't do anything. So, seeing as I was so far from the house, I ran to my parents' house. I didn't have my scan tool, so I couldn't get the code. Now, what I did, because, you know, when push comes to shove, you got to do something to get home. Now, sorry, I'm trying to get this thing scan rolling. So, I just disconnected the battery, let it set 10 minutes, hooked it back up. Everything was fine. I've been driving it for, well, this was Wednesday, and today is Wednesday. So, for a week, I've been driving it. Now, I have a bunch of codes here. We're going to start with PCM. Camshaft position sensor, intermittent bank 1, sensor 1. And then the ABS is a C121C, torque request signal denied. The airbag, which it's been messing up. The wireless control module, which is the tire pressure monitoring sensors, our system. And then the backup Parktronics sensor 10, short circuit to battery, which that's my backup sensors. And then everything else is good. So, as we all know, I did just change my cam position and sensor. I don't believe it's bad. Seeing as, well, like I said, I went through this a week ago. And now everything's back again. I was honestly waiting for it to come back on to see what it was, because I didn't get to check the code and I didn't know what it is. So the code is a P0344. Now, when I went through this last week, I read a bunch of stuff, read a bunch of forums. I did a little test on the thing scan, and my ABS module is stating that it's not set, which refers to either a bad ABS module, a bad power control module, and I also read that if you're low on oil, it'll do the same thing. It's an oil pressure thing, I guess. Now, I checked the oil. I was 1.5 quarts low. I added 1.5 quarts. I've drove it for the week. My change oil light did come on, and that was one of the reasons why I needed to check the oil, because usually by the time it comes on, it is a little bit low, and I do believe in checking the oil at least once a week. Now, with that, guys, so I have had the strangest things happening with this truck, which leads me to believe, because, well, let me go back real quick. So when I went through all my tests on my thing scan here, right, and it said that the ABS module wasn't set. Now, when I went into my ABS settings, we're gonna do this now, right, and I went through and I tested all my functions, and it was working. Everything worked correctly all the way through. Now, with that being stated, and this is kind of some of the reason why I'm ruling out the ABS module more than the PCM. So, like I was stating, give me a second, guys. We're going through all this, man, on the thing scan. So, anyway, I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry, dude. I'm trying to get this going. So, when it comes to that, dude, from time to time, I'll deal with the prolonged start, and then it'll go away. And from time to time, it'll shift bad, but then it'll go away. And I mean, like, kill the truck, restart it, and the problem goes away. type situations, man. My AC, like my controls on my AC from vent to floor to defrost. So if I run it on defrost and floor, which I normally do in the mornings, and I switch it back to vent, it won't do it. But if I kill the truck and start it back up, it'll switch right over, and it does it. And it works perfect. So, I mean, with that, it's just leading to the PCMs acting up. Something in there is not acting right. And then along with the whole transmission shifting funny, and then it does it. So with the 2009 Rams, the 4th generation Rams, they did away with the transmission control module, and it's all in one. They're all together. The transmission control module and PCM is one unit now. If you go on the 03 Hemi Ram, they're 2 separate modules. One's a PCM, one's a TCM. So I'm really starting to lean towards that. I'm thinking I'm gonna have to get into that. I'm gonna erase the code again, see how many days I can drive it again. I'm gonna check the oil again, all of that, dude. We're gonna go through all that again. So I wanted to touch bases. This just happened right now, dude. So I wanted to run through everything, let you know what's going on with the truck. Excuse me, man. I feel terrible today, y'all. And, you know, keep you in the loop. So, with all that, keep living the dream, doing your thing. Like and subscribe. Always drop your boy a comment. And I got a toolbox video coming out and a damage report video coming out. So keep your eyes peeled for those.